Accused killer of gay Ivy League student was a white nationalist whose posts on social media grew more disturbing over time. The accused killer of a California Ivy League student posted disturbing messages and images online that suggest he was a white nationalist. Multiple sources say Samuel Woodard, 20, would post neo-Nazi and white supremacist ideology on a now-deleted iFunny account. In one particular post, the alleged murderer paid homage to the 1998 movie American History X, by remaking the scene where skinhead Edward Norton stomps on a man's head on a curb. While the boy pictured with Woodard was not injured, the saboteur, as the 20-year-old went by on the app, would post more incendiary comments. Saboteur was 100% a white nationalist from his comments that I personally saw, an iFunny app user identified only as Daniel W. told the New York Post. Several iFunny users and the boy's teacher who looked over the photos and post on the page confirmed the account belonged to Woodard. I would vigorously bone the living hell out of my English teacher, like holy FK. I don't care if it's miscegenation interbreeding, that babe would be pregnant as FK year after year, around the clock, acting as a hub of genetic imperialism and giving life to half-Arab saboteur offspring to further my conquest and aims, said one post accompanied by a photo of Woodard dressed in a graduation gown next to a young teacher who is a person of color. He constantly got in debates over his beliefs of white nationalism and support of Nazi ideas, according to Daniel W. Anti-Semitism and homophobia were certainly aspects of his ideology, said another iFunny user who added they were close with Woodard. Woodard was known for going on long extensive rants on iPolitics, a group on the app. Sam was a radical National Socialist. He dedicated his account to radical nationalist movements throughout history and worked towards spreading his ideology, the iFunny user who was close to Woodward asserted. But over time, the posts got a lot more offensive and dark. He went from a man interested in right-wing ideology to a much more concerning and dangerous belief system, the source added. Another source said Woodard had disdain for refugees. And according to Oren Siegel, director of Anti-Defamation League's Center on Extremism, this progression isn't uncommon. Meme culture has been embraced by white supremacists, who are very active online and increasingly seek to employ irony and humor to spread their hateful messages, he said. Woodard was still regarded as one of the smartest and most sane nationalists on the app, even though he began drifting away from it over the last year. Samuel Woodward, 20, was charged with murdering Blaze Bernstein, 19, on January 2. Police say he attacked Bernstein while the pair were in his parked car at Borrego Park in Orange County, California, where Bernstein was visiting home for a winter break. The teenager's body was found in a shallow grave a week after he vanished. Woodward was the last person to see him alive and had picked him up from home on the night he disappeared. Authorities with knowledge of the case revealed earlier this week that Woodward had told them Bernstein kissed him in the car and that it was unwanted advance. He allegedly said that he wanted to call him AFT afterwards. Old posts Woodward made in the past about his religion have resurfaced as the investigation against him continues. He wrote on Ask FM that if he was ever deserted on an island, the two things he would want with him would be a Bible and a Colt .45. He also complained on the site about President Obama, describing him as a hypocritical, spineless socialist. In another post, Woodward is said to have condemned the Macklemore song Same Love, which the musician released in 2013 in support of same-sex marriage. He described it as the worst song he had ever heard. In previous posts, the youngster defended the Confederate flag. Woodward and Bernstein were classmates at the Orange County School of the Arts in Santa Ana before Bernstein started college at the University of Pennsylvania. It is not clear how close the pair were when they were in the performing arts school together. Staff there said they were surprised when they learned Woodward had been arrested for Bernstein's murder and that he was a non-confrontational student. One coach did recall how, aged 15 at the time, he requested to play military roles and was delighted when he was tasked with performing one of Brad Pitt's monologues from the film Inglourious Bastard. He really liked it. He ate it up, Philip Schwadron, who taught Woodward, told the Los Angeles Times. Woodward's parents are devout Catholics. They held hands in court when he appeared at Santa Ana Superior Court on Wednesday. His mother Michelle is a therapist and his father Blake is the vice president of a commercial real estate. Earlier in the week, Michelle read a statement outside their home to ask for privacy. "This is a time of great suffering, and we would ask that you would respect that suffering. Thank you very much," she said. Bernstein's parents have said very little of his accused killer. During an interview with Today on Thursday, his lawyer mother Jean said she wanted Woodward to have a fair trial. "It's not going to help anything, and if we talk about these things now, then this young man will not get a fair trial, and I want that for. I want that all of us. I want the legal system to work. I'm an attorney. I value it," she said. Prosecutors have not ruled out charging Woodward with a hate crime but say they will only do so if there is enough evidence.